podcast where two bitter film fans watch the 50 best horror movies ever, and then we talk about them. My name is Luke Condor with a K, and I'm joined by...
You're joined by Ben Errington.
Joined by Ben Errington.
You're joined by me.
I'm joined by him. We are enjoined, we are one. Last time we talked about Let the Right One In. It was a very good film. I think it's my favourite so far. It's bloody fantastic, Ben. What did you?
It was.
No, so this film this week has got a lot to live up to.
It's got a hell of a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
You know, it's a difficult coming off the back of the best review we've given.
Yeah.
Could this beat it? Could this be just as good?
Yeah.
Who knows?
By the way, I will say at the start of the episode, which we normally do, this film has spoilers. We have to tell you this at the start of every episode, if you tend to forget. We will be talking in great detail about what happens in the film. So if you haven't seen it, it's from 1961. So
you've had a while.
You've had a
while to watch this film.
Yeah,
you've had your chance. And if you listen to a podcast now about this 1961 film and you're spoiled by it, then you've only got yourself to blame. Don't blame us. We're innocent parties.
Yeah, we are innocent. I've got to say here. So if you hear me sort of munching, Kat brought me a cup of tea just before we started recording. A cup of tea and 3 custard creams. So that's slurpy me.
That's a pretty good custard cream to cup of tea ratio. 3. I feel like that's good. I think 2 standard, but 3 is when you're really having a party.
It's not enough for me. Could you
consume a whole brick of custard creams?
Biscuits for days, me.
Biscuits for days. I got biscuits for days. I got custard creams. Got bonbons.
Okay.
I'm out.
So this week we're going to be talking about the number 31 on the list. We are talking about The Innocents. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what it is about?
Yes, indeed. I'll tell you a bit about what it's about. The Innocents is a 1961 British supernatural gothic horror film directed and produced by Jack Clayton and starring Deborah Kerr. Kerr.
I'm going with Kerr.
Michael Redgrave and Megs Jenkins. Based on the novella The Turn of the Screw by Henry James, the plot follows a governess who watches over 2 children and comes to fear that the house is haunted by ghosts and that the 2 children are being possessed.
Okay, so this is what the Empire folks had to say about it. The title is different, but The Innocents is otherwise an elegant and extremely faithful adaptation of Henry James' perennial classic, The Turn of the Screw. A governess takes charge of 2 creepy children who appear to be being haunted by previous incumbents of their rackety estate. It didn't seem very rackety to me. But the film preserves James' crucial ambiguity. Are the children really in danger from ghosts? Or from a sort of supernatural Munchausen by proxy stemming from their hysterical guardian? The answer's up to you. On Rotten Tomatoes, I blame the biscuit on that sort of little tongue twister there. Too much custard cream.
Always blaming the biscuit.
On Rotten Tomatoes, you got 96% fresh. On IMDb, 7.9. So that is very good. That's
7.9.
high
That is
sevens.
basically that's the best film. This is the best film ever made.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, on the Facebook group, the Horror Hangout Board of Advisors, Andy CT, he just put up a GIF of someone jumping off a cliff. Not really sure what he means by that.
Is he potentially talking about the fabled cliff that I have of can't watch a film over a certain date? Is that what you meant?
I believe so. Yeah. So this film's from 1961. Your cliff is the 70s, right?
My cliff is like I'd say 69. Ooh. I think it is about 69. Obviously, there are quite a select few, ones that I can watch from the 60s that I enjoy. Not just horror films, just any genre.
Yeah.
But other than that, I find myself a low sink appears in my stomach if I find out a film comes from a certain era. I go, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it.
It does feel like sometimes you go into like a film like this and you feel like it's going to be a bit more work. There's going to be a bit more effort on my part to enjoy it.
Yeah. It's like when people like see you watching a film or someone sees you watching a film, they go, "Ooh, black and white," or they go, "Ooh, subtitles." Jesus.
Yeah. That I always found that kind of strange because I kind of feel like subtitles. Sometimes I have them on anyway because I just find it like
Yeah.
engrosses me even more. I don't know.
I had subtitles on for this film.
Did you?
Not on purpose. Just when I started watching, I had subtitles on, and I was just too
Couldn't be
damn
asked to
lazy to change it.
Yeah.
And I liked the subtitles because they were very good. They were like they described stuff. They described a lot of the sound effects in very interesting ways, and I enjoyed that.
Rustling noises.
Rustling noises. A scream appears in the near distance. Near distance.
Black and white children are walking.
Black and white children. We mean children in black and white, not children of different racial diversities.
So Kev Hurst, also in the Facebook group, he said it's more of a thriller, which I kind of agree with. It's a weird one.
Thriller.
It's almost like the ambiguity. See, I said it fine then. The ambiguity is it a thriller or is it a supernatural ghost story? That's the ambiguity.
Yeah,
I'm leaning more towards supernatural.
Yeah, I think it's more supernatural. Have you noticed though? Change the subject. Sorry. When Michael Jackson is describing everything that happens in the song Thriller, he's describing a horror. He's not describing a thriller.
That is a very good point. And there's like zombie dancers in it.
If he was describing a thriller, plot twist, who did the murder? That's a thriller. He's describing a horror. Someone should have gone to him, Mike, MJ, Mickey J.
Obviously, you don't watch films. Let
I don't
me
watch
explain the genres, and then he needs to. It's a subgenre, really, isn't it? It's like horror, zombie horror. So
Zombie horror.
So he really needs to define what the song actually is before singing it out like that and getting it wrong. If you're watching a horror movie and then you start singing out loud, "This is a thriller," people are like, people look at you like, "No, it's not." No, it's not.
So again, I'm going to change the subject again. I'm sorry, I'm delaying the review hugely.
Mental gymnastics here. Go on.
Talking to zombies as well. So doing back.
Oh yeah, I know where we're going. Yeah.
George A. Romero, rest in peace. 77 years old. God damn, what a loss, eh? What a loss to the world.
We're actually watching
what a legend.
A number of his films pretty soon on the list, so maybe we should have some sort of celebratory drinks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if you're listening to this, we discussed Dawn of the Dead a few episodes back. Well, probably about 10 episodes back now, maybe. So that might be a good one to go back and listen to. But the godfather of zombies, and, without him, zombies in pop culture wouldn't be known as they are today at all. So we've got a lot.
Isn't that weird? They're so prevalent in like our life. Not exactly, life, but like in everything.
Walking Dead, one of the most popular TV shows in the world at the moment, wouldn't exist without him. Certain horror games wouldn't exist without him. So, huge shame. But what was the last George A. Romero movie?
I thought he was working on one now. I thought he was working on a new. It might have been Diary of the Dead or something. I'm not too sure, but I thought he was working on like a more recent one.
All right, Diary of the Dead. It was done, wasn't it? I think I saw that.
Yeah. I mean,
anyway.
I thought that was like the last one he'd put out. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll do an actual Romero episode at some point soon.
We'll get into that when the time is right.
Yes. Okay, so this film, The Innocents.
Film?
Have you read the novella? Have you seen this before? Did you know what it is? Did you enjoy it?
No, and no, and yes. I may have given too many no's there. I'd heard of this, maybe just like the title, maybe seen some of the imagery, never seen it, never read the book, The Turning of the Screw. Get very confused with that and the taming
I
of the
always
shrew.
thought it was a
That's
turning.
The thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I always thought it was something. I thought it was
there's a taming of a shrew.
All right,
which I think
might
is
be
the
why.
thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I always think shrews, they're not very, they're not very wild. They don't need taming. Taming of the Shrew is a Shakespeare work. Whoops. Right. Yeah. Anyway, no, I've never seen this before. But yeah, I think I enjoyed it. I think it had a good vibe. It was a little bit creepy. I got the old goose pin please a couple of times, a couple of bits and things. It was a little bit OTT. Some of the characters weren't the best. The governess, played by Deborah Kerr. bit annoying after a while. Yeah. Bit OTT. The kids are all right, I guess.
Very charming. A little too charming. But I think that's part of the idea, isn't it?
Very charming, but sinister.
Yeah. They're very creepy children singing out Willy songs.
Oh, Willy songs. And obviously we get the sort of housekeeper lady as well. I mean, she was She was pretty cool.
Common as muck.
Common as muck.
I was watching this and it was like a lot of the films like around this time, like the Hammer horror films and stuff that I've seen. I've not seen many. They always seem to take from the point of view of middle class to upper class English people. I was like, hang on a sec, where's the working class like story? They're like, when did that?
Come on.
I'd be interested to actually, just as a sort of a side project, look into that whole idea of when did working class people start to actually get a point of view in story. And
yeah, it's true.
Could the working class people did they go and watch these films and think, oh, Rick, I can really relate to the maid, like
yeah. We want to see these films from the point of view of some working class Yorkshiremen, please.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. I think it was interesting. The sound design was pretty cool. I was thinking about that. I was thinking, so this is 10 years after the Universal Monster films we've watched so far, and I was like, what's the main difference here? What's the thing that's leveled up the most? And it's definitely the sound. Like, when I think of like, especially Dracula, the Bela Lugosi one, I think that was a little bit earlier, but that was like, that had no sort of score or anything, and this had like the whole reverby, echoey delays, the creepy singing children.
Yeah, it was a bit like overwhelming at times, like not in a hugely bad way, but it was very, very like unsettling.
Yeah.
Like you kind of wanted it to stop, and when it did stop, you were like, oh, that's a relief. So you kind of felt that parallel with the relief of the main character.
Occasionally, it was like someone playing with the guitar effects pedal, like just turn it off. Like that whole like that slap delay thing, they're turning right up.
There's always like a horrible scream in the distance that people just completely basically ignored. There'd be a horrible blood-curdling scream and someone go, what was that? And I go, dunno.
We have to ignore it. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think, like I said, the sound design was the best thing for me. So, shall we get into the story?
Yeah. Do we talk about the major players? Obviously, there aren't many, but...
Okay, so major players, we've got Deborah Kerr as Miss Giddens. She's the governess, which I think is like a nanny. I don't know why they call her the governess. She's a nanny, right?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if she's a nanny. She's sort of like the person who rules the roost at this lovely house. I don't know. It's weird. So it's kind of like a glorified nanny, isn't it? They've gone. This is a job for a nanny, but if we put it in the paper and we call it a governess, more people are going to come forward. Yeah. Don't just put a nanny.
She gets paid more. She's got certain skills that a nanny just does not possess.
She gets paid a shitload.
Okay.
And one of her qualifications is that she just loves children. That's made very clear from the start that she just loves children.
Loves them so much.
I just love their little hands and faces.
Miles is one of the little hands and little faces little man. He's played by Martin Stevens. His little sister's Flora. It's played by Pamela Franklin. I don't know if these people went on to do anything special after this. Who knows? I didn't really look into it. Miles looks like he's got a career as a, I don't know, like a sort of creepy. He's kind of charming in a sort of pale, creepy way. I don't know. And then we've got Peter Quint, played by Peter Wingard, and Miss Jessel. She doesn't get a first name. I don't even think Miss Giddens does, but she's played by Clytie Jessup. But yeah, so nice, robust cast. So how does it start?
So it starts with the old governess applying for the job, and she goes and meets the dude. Who, I mean, I got a lot of respect for this guy, don't you?
I just got to say, it starts with a Willie song. It sounds like they're saying,
it does.
Old Willow Wiley or something, but it sounds like they're saying, "Oh Willie Willie."
Oh Willie Willie.
Willie Willies. Okay, but then it's just that over the black. And that's so the sound design already from the start is great. There's just black, and there's a 20th Century Fox thing happening. They don't go with the normal. They have like the
Willy 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 Willy.
They have the creepy
Willy Willy. Sorry.
And then sets the tone away for it. And then you're right. So then Miss Giddens, she needs a first name. You can't just call her Miss Giddens. This is 2017.
Yeah. Miss Giddens.
Are we assuming her gender here?
Don't assume my gender, mate. Don't assume Miss Giddens' gender.
Yeah.
Let's just call her Sally.
The governor.
See, I don't like her already. I don't like Sally. Let's go back to Miss.
Arnold. Okay, so Miss Giddens
She applies for a job with a man who basically I've got nothing but respect for. This guy. He's like the uncle of these two children.
Yeah.
And he's sort of become the sole guardian of them for a reason. What is that reason?
Yeah, I mean his brother, or I think it's his brother, died. Their dad died or something.
And this uncle dude literally does not give one solitary shit about these kids. He's like, these kids are nothing but a bloody hindrance to me. I just like going about my business. He's like smashing at the casino.
Yeah.
Obviously womanizing.
Yeah.
Drinking, doing all this stuff. He's got no time for kids. So he's just like, I've slung them in this house. I've got a nice house, but I've slung them in this house.
Yeah.
And I need a new governess to go there and basically rule the roost.
Yeah, and he says you have absolute control. He also says, I have no room for children, both mentally and emotionally. And I was like, and then it got me thinking, I don't think I do. Like,
You were just like, I've got so much in common with this guy.
I just feel like there's a certain amount of like energy you need. I mean, you have a child. There must be a lot of energy needed to sort of look after one.
Yeah, but I think you adapt in time. I think when she appeared on Earth, that's how it happened. She just appeared on Earth. I was very much probably similar to you, where I was just like, Jesus Christ, what the hell am I going to do? And then you just adapt, and then you learn to, they become a part of your life, a very important part, and then that's it. You're lumbered with them forever. Well, at least till they're 18.
Yeah.
Then you can let them off out into the world. Just let them out the front door.
Go on then.
But yeah, go on then. Out you go. But yeah, I know what you mean. But this guy is,
Really?
he's also like, I don't want to hear anything about him. I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what I mean? I want absolutely nothing. No room mentally or emotionally for his niece or nephew.
Yeah.
So that's over it.
But I mean, at least he's honest and forefront about it. At least he's got the money to get a governess in. They're pretty pricey.
Come on, imagine he didn't. He'd be like, I've been absolutely stitched up with these kids.
Yeah.
He'd run away.
He would run away. He would push them in the lake. Okay, so he's got this. He basically keeps these kids in this like lovely country estate manor house type thing called Bly, and he sends Miss Giddens over there to look after it. Apparently, the previous governess, Miss Jessel, died. We don't really know much about that at first. Miss Giddens says, I bloody love children. She goes on about how much she loves them.
I love children. I love them more than chocolate.
Yeah.
I love children more than the cold side of the pillow. She loves them.
Yeah. So I got the Mary Poppins vibe when she rocks up. She's like looking around, like, I can't wait to clean this. Like, she's like really into the house.
I can't wait to clean it. I can't wait to clean this. I can't wait to get my new rubber gloves on. Yeah, definitely Mary Poppins vibe from young Miss Giddens.
Yeah. So I guess the first point is she meets Miss Groves, who's the working class nanny. I suppose she's the nanny or cook or something. And then she meets Flora, who's the daughter, who's the orphan girl. The brother isn't there yet for whatever reason.
He's away at boarding school at this particular moment.
Yeah.
And then Flora makes a very strange comment where she says, I'm delighted that he's coming home. And Miss Giddens is like, he's at boarding school, mate. What you want about?
In the holidays, dear. Yeah.
In the holidays, don't be silly.
Flora says lots of weird stuff. There's a point where she says, oh, look. You see a butterfly on its leaf, and you think, oh, that's quite pretty. And she says, oh, look at this. It's a spider eating a butterfly. Like...
Yeah.
She's not even looking at that. She's looking at it being eaten by something else, and that's the beauty.
How lovely. Nature. Yeah. Very nice.
She says something else as well. She says there's a noise, like maybe one of the screams that you're talking about, and Miss Giddens is like, what was that? And it's like a pop. And then Flora's like, we must pretend we didn't hear it. There's like a lot of little creepy.
Oh yeah.
Creepy things like that. I mean,
like she knows something that we don't know.
Yeah.
Young Flora.
So then, at some point, if she's having a bath or something, she's a very normal girl. She's like, Miles is coming home tomorrow or something. She seems to know that he's going to be coming home. Is there any? There's no ghosty stuff at this point, I don't think, is there?
No ghosty. We're 0 on the old ghostometer at this particular moment. But yeah, and then the next day, a letter is sent to the house which says Miles, he's been a very bad boy, and he's coming home from boarding school. He's been expelled. Doesn't say what for, does it?
They just can't put up with him or something. Like he's just
stressful. Ed doing. He's Ed doing.
He doesn't do one thing. It's not one thing. He just does all these little things. It all adds up.
Yeah, just like him. Just like I can't be dealing with it. That's what I'm thinking.
It's just like brush his teeth weird. The way he parts his hair. Take him. You can't have him.
Yeah, that's something I hate.
Yeah. So Miles does actually turn up. Seems nice enough. In fact, he seems weirdly nice. Like
too nice.
He talks really flirtatiously to Miss Giddens. Like I don't know. He goes on about how beautiful she is all the time. He's just very upfront about it all. About how like lovely she is and stuff.
Oh, Miss Giddens, you're looking bloody lovely today. You are. Oh,
pretty much that. But
give us a smile. Give us a smile. Oh.
It's I mean, you kind of know straight away there's something off with Miles.
Yeah.
He's got I don't know how to describe his face. I don't know if it's just the black and white photography sort of makes it more creepy, but it looks like he's got like an alabaster sort of doll's face.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Little ceramic doll's face, creepy little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and both of them, so him and Flora, start just displaying sort of quite odd behaviours. They're kind of like having a little sneaky secret talk and like stuff like that. And they're sort of suspicious, right? So you look at them, you think there's something odd with these two. They're up to something. They are up to something there, and Miss Giddens sort of talks to the Miss. Is it Mrs. Gross? Mrs. Gross?
Groves or Gross.
So talks to them about their strangeness and something, and sort of starts to delve a little bit into the past of these other two people who lived there. So there was
like the previous governess.
Yeah, so the previous governess, who was Miss Jessel, and then Peter Quint, who was like the valet to their uncle. Sorry, is that true?
What's valet mean? Does that mean he just takes his car, sorts his car out?
Yeah, must be. Well, drive. What does it mean? Drive him as well? I don't know if he's chauffeur. Maybe something like that. Yeah. So they sort of find out a little bit about the past of that. But I think she starts doing it because she starts hearing voices sort of around the house. Sees a couple of strange visions, especially of Peter Quint in the window, just obviously doing a bit of window cleaning outside. But she takes it over the top and screams. And then...
Yeah, so she sees him at the top of this little outhouse tower thing, and then I think she asks Miss Gross about it, and she's like, "Yeah, so there was this guy. So they're playing hide and seek. That's it. And this is a pretty good bit. This actually sort of scared me. So they're playing hide and seek. Miss Giddens goes and hides behind a curtain. She's next to a window, and then the face sort of floats towards the window out of pure dark. Yeah, so it is that face. That's the expression." You can't see the video feed if you listen to the podcast, but Ben just did it. Ben nailed it.
I nailed it. If they do a remake of this and you need a Peter Quint, it's me.
Yeah, it was schoolish. It was terrifying. And then she screams, and then she goes, "Oh, who's this man?" And then we find out that she's seen the picture, and then Miss Grove's like, "Oh, okay, that's Peter Quint." Him and Miss Jessel were having it off for a while. They make it out that like. He was abusive to her or something, and they used to be indecent in front of the children. They don't tell exactly what's going on, but they don't like. There's a lot of public displays of affection going on between those two. It was improper.
PDA.
Yeah.
Well, I think they might have been having it off in front of him as well, which is that's just naughty, isn't it? That's just.
Do we actually find out what killed him? Because she says. He fell down the stairs or something. Yeah,
she says like it was one winter, wasn't it? And he sort of fell down some stairs and broke his neck. Bloody clumsy git. But after he died, Miss Jessel sort of went into a deep depression and ended up drowning herself. Which I feel like that's a way to go, isn't it? Drowning yourself.
Yeah.
Like I reckon I'd just get halfway through and like, come up. I'll just come up for air naturally. I don't think I could like stay down there. But
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's the same reason you can't just hold your breath and like just. No,
Yeah.
well, then again, I don't know. I'm sure you could. Could you drown yourself? I don't know if it's the easiest way to do it.
you'd have to put some gold concrete boots on. You had to be sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah. Some of those concrete boots you got in your boot cupboard.
They're my favourites.
New rocks. Did you ever used to wear new rocks, or do you know what new rocks were?
New rocks. No. What were they like?
Do you know? Okay, new rocks. So like there was when Grebos were like trendy, like that. Like everyone was wearing like the long leather coat.
Yeah.
These were new rocks, and they were these giant gothic.
What are they like? Doc Martens.
No, way bigger than them.
Oh, I like sort of platform shoes. Yeah, I know which one.
Platforms that went all the way up to like just below the knee. And
Oh wow! Did you have a pair?
I was never. That was more for like the murder dolls sort of crowd. You know what I mean? I was more into Pantera. I was wearing Converse as a.
Yeah.
I'm Dimebag Darrell. That's what I was doing.
I had my Slipknot hoodie on, mate. That's what I did.
Nothing wrong with that. I had a Slipknot hoodie as well. It was my first metal hoodie.
Yeah, I think it might be my first metal hoodie as well.
Very heavy.
Very heavy, but no sexy boots.
Okay, cool. You were missing out. Right, so where are we in the story? Okay, so we kind of find out that these two dead people. We see him a little bit more here and there. There's this like scenes where Miss Giddens is walking through the hallway, and then we see like one of them pass across the hallway, which is a bit of a trope in itself. Now we see that all the time these days. But it is effective.
But I like it. I like it when it happens with no sound, no accompanying jolt of like violins or something. Do you know what I mean? When it happens with no sound, it is genuinely creepy. Yeah. When it happens in like games and stuff, there was definitely some stuff in like Resident Evil 7 where you'd walk towards a door and someone would suddenly walk past, completely silent, nothing added to the soundtrack or anything like that, and it's so effective because even though you kind of half suspect it, when you actually see it happen, you're like, whoa.
If you saw that in real life, what would you do? Because that must be like if you didn't know the person.
I don't know. You probably I think you'd stop completely dead. Just like what the Jesus.
Yeah.
Whereas when that happens in modern horror with the sort of accompanying violin,
it gets that kind of. That kind of like that's all.
That is scary. That is a loud noise is scary.
It gets your startle reflex sort of going.
A loud. Yeah, exactly. There's an advert currently on at the cinema for Cars 3, and it's so loud at the start of it. It's made me jump 3 times. I'm like, Cars 3 is the scariest film of the year so far for me, just because the trailer it starts. It's just a really loud noise. I go like, fucking Jesus Christ, Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen. I've only ever seen the first one, I think. Not my favourite Pixar film, but still pretty good. But so anyway, we get the idea that Miss Giddens suspects that those two people who died are essentially possessing the children as a way of sort of continuing their relationship.
I mean, it's quite a jump in terms.
It is quite a jump in logic. I think that's one of the things that confused me. I didn't know how she got there and how she thought she was going to cure.
But
them.
here, I think we start to see that she is quite intense, Miss Giddens. Even though she appears at the start and in the early stages of the film as quite a sort of level-headed woman,
a little less Mary Poppins and a little more crazy.
She's very much like jumping to conclusions instead of being like super scared by these things. She very much like takes out on the kids a little bit. Not in like she's not like she loses her temper a few times. But this is what I find quite interesting. I was like, we don't know anything about her past at all. Yeah. And even though she was supposed to be like quite a passive protagonist as such, I kind of felt a little bit of uneasiness towards her, and I don't know if that was necessarily on purpose. I don't know whether we were supposed to feel that, but I kind of felt she was reacting in some strange ways, and I kept thinking when she was saying, "Oh, I love children.
Oh, super creepy. Yeah.
I thought maybe she's lost a child in the past, and that affects like how she deals with things now. Maybe that's the reason why she sort of went for the job, because she wants to like be around children again.
I think that there's more in the novel, but I think you're right. I think the reason she's got this whole Munchausen by proxy sort of thing going on is because maybe she lost a kid due to ill health or something at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at some point, I don't know how she decides she's going to sort of cure them, but I think she sort of gets. So there's one bit where she goes out to the lake house and Flora is dancing around and Miss Jessel's ghost is there just on the other side of the lake and she forces her to look at her, and then she sort of erupts in these screams and but they say that she says she can't see the person, she can't see the ghost, but she's like freaking out.
Yeah, but Miss Giddens can see the ghost, but when Mrs. Gross arrives to sort of say what's going on, she can't see the ghost either.
Yeah.
So it was this point where I'm thinking, can just Miss Giddens see this ghost? And for what reason can she just see the ghost? Yeah. Are the kids playing up to it? Or maybe when the kids aren't possessed per se, they can't see the ghost either?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, there is also a weird bit where Miss Giddens finds Miles walking out in the garden at night. And when she takes him back to bed, he's a bit like, well, I thought you were bored of having such a well-behaved child. I thought, why not mix it up a bit and be a little shitbag? And she was just like, yeah, you little knobhead.
Well,
and then he kisses, and then he kisses her, doesn't he?
Smooches her. Is that bit? You think is that the dead bird? He's got like the dead bird with a broken neck under his pillow.
Yeah,
so I'm keeping it warm, and
I'll bury it in the morning. And then he kisses her, tongue.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
It's a weird, like, really intense kiss on the lips, and her eyes sort of go wide where she's like...
And if you haven't seen the film, he's a little 8-year-old kid or something. Like, he's really young. And he's so mature in the way he does everything. And I was reading that the producers weren't that comfortable with the kissing bits because they were like, that's a little bit too much. But I think that was like one of the scariest things about it. That Miles was so...
It was just like the unnerving... bits like that where you're a bit like don't quite know how to react, don't quite know what's going on, that kind of added to the whole atmosphere and vibe of what was you know what I mean. It was a creepy film. It reminded me of a few different sort of films, sort of like haunted house films.
Like these older films we've been watching, they tend to be on the short side, but this is a good 2 hours long. I think
it was like maybe like hour 40 maybe, which was like I guess was considerable considering some of the stuff we watched. It was like an hour 15, hour 20.
Yeah.
But
so she basically says, Miss Groves, you take Flora, who's still freaking out. Apparently she's been swearing and stuff. We don't get to see that. It's too hardcore for...
Fuck nuggets, she says a couple of times.
Does she?
No.
Oh, does she? That must have been in the subtitles.
In the subtitles it said, quietly says fuck nuggets in the background. Like that.
Yeah. I need to watch the subtitles next time. There must be a load of little Easter eggs, like little nuggets there, placed around. So Flora and Miss Groves go back to London. To London, dear. And then Miles, so it just leaves Miles and her. And Miles is super creepy at this point. Like he's always a gentleman. He's always in, like he'd never be put on the back foot in conversation. And for an 8-year-old kid, 10-year-old kid, or whatever, that's sort of surreal. The way that she'll talk to him and ask him questions, and he'll always outwit her in some way or another.
Yeah, and he's probably thinking, just me and Miss Giddens in the house.
Yeah, he's thinking it's on. Now it's time to work the charm.
Oh God!
I like the fire. What do you say to the fire? I like it when it does that. Burns, whatever he's talking about, and then do you like it? It's creepy as fuck, basically.
Yeah. So basically, she wants to like get him to confess that.
What does she want to confess that the ghosts are real, or confess that
and she thinks that the ghosts are real, that he's possessed, that he can see them, and I think by acknowledging them, she kind of thinks that it will like get rid of them somehow. It's almost like they're lingering, they're lingering because no one's admitting to them being around. Yeah. Which again, it is a bit, it's kind of strange logic, you know.
Yeah, but so at this point, I think she does take him outside, right? And then there's she's telling him to confess, and then he's laughing. I think
they're in like a greenhouse first.
Right, yeah. He's laughing at her, basically calling her an idiot or something, or he's like swearing. And then,
you stupid twat!
And then Peter Quint is like floating outside, or he's like laughing in the same way. So it does give that impression that like he is possessed by Peter Quint, the gooniest face I've ever seen in my life. And then and then I think she chases him outside or something. Oh yeah, he trips up.
Yeah. He trips up, and then he does kind of admit, doesn't he?
Well, does he though? Because So he admits that he's bad or something like that.
I think he just says his name, doesn't he?
He said his name, but then she says, "Look at him," and then he goes, "He can't see him. Like he's looking around where?"
Yeah.
And then she goes, "He's there," and then he starts shouting, "You're insane," and then trying to run away. And then
it was a bit of a strange bit. This was.
Yeah, so I mean, I think they kept that ambiguity right to the end. This bit sort of is a bit weird. So he sort of said his name, said he can't see him, and then Miles just drops to the floor. Miss Giddens sort of realizes he's dead.
Well, I kind of thought he just passed out from like the intensity of it, or maybe he'd passed out because the spirit left him. But when looking at Wikipedia, it says he's dead.
I got the impression that he's dead, but then she kisses him like he's an adult, which is like just a weird way to end.
Yeah. So who was possessed? Who was possessed all along? Could she have been possessed instead of Flora?
She could have been haunted and just made her do these sort of weird things. I don't know. But the kids were kind of... If the kids weren't possessed, they were playing up to the fact that she thought they were.
Yeah, possibly. But they've been through a lot, with their parents dying, living with Uncle Shithouse.
I think they were just problem kids, even.
Yeah.
Problem shits, I was going to say.
Problem shits. And that's it, I mean, when you think about it, not that much happens in this film.
There's a lot of slow conversations.
A lot of slow conversations, a lot of like things that you see once and then you see it again, and it doesn't really get dialed up too much. The tension is kind of like the creepy scenes are very much the same all the way through. There's no like
I could have had a 2-hour film
crazy paranormal things.
So this is how David Lynch would have done this film. It's a 2-hour shot of the guy Peter Quinn outside with his goony face, just slowly walking towards the window, like a droney ominous tone. That'd be scary as fuck. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would have been terrifying. And then ends with Miles laughing.
Did it? Oh no, the film. Okay.
That would, yeah.
The David Lynch film. Okay.
Do we get the Willy song at the end as well?
I think we do. We didn't mention, so all the way throughout the film there's the Willy song. What are they actually saying? Is it like Willow? Oh, Wiley, Willow, Willy.
Oh, Willy, 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 Willy. I don't know.
Willy Willies.
That's basically it all the way through. That's the reason Miles got expelled, because he was just walking around going Willy, 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 Willy.
Yeah.
I love Willies. Oh no.
Can't be in a male's boarding school if you're saying that.
It's the song. It's the song from the IT Crowd. The episode where they go and see the gay musical called Gay, and one of the songs in it is just Willies. I love Willies.
Yeah,
that was a great episode.
Okay, so it's a good film. I enjoyed it. In terms of jump scares, the floating face is what was really effective. The sound effects are the best thing about it for me, I think, and Miles as well. I thought the performance was really good. And that's all I've got to say about it for now. I've got some trivia ready. Unless you've got some more stuff to say about the film.
I've got some stuff to say, mate. Got some stuff to say. I've got some stuff. It was good. It was all right, wasn't it? It was pretty good. I like the vibe of it. It was creepy throughout. Skin tingling, creepy. Usually, like films that like centered around kids, I get a little bit annoyed by, because we've seen it all before. I know this is 1961. We've kind of seen it all before with like creepy kids. So I mean, there's nothing else that can happen in a film with a creepy kid that hasn't happened dozens of times before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a horror. As far as I'm concerned, it's a horror trope that's like dead, unless someone can. Do you know what I mean? Really, kids that are haunted by something is boring. But for some reason, this was like, you know what I mean? I kind of understood. But then I think it's because I gravitated more towards Miss Giddens rather than sort of like how the kids were. And I think
you saw yourself in the governess, right?
I saw myself in Miss Giddens, mate. I thought some of the visuals were good, like the ghost of Miss Jessup being across the way on the water was very creepy. The fact that it didn't like focus in on her or zoom in on her, you didn't see her face. She was just sort of like quite dark hair, dark eyed, creepy looking.
That was
spectre.
That was a triumph of the production, I found, with the cinematography in general.
I would have liked if it was sort of key that if we found out that like nothing could have been standing there because it was like reeds in the water or something, and there was no one could have been standing on it. It was just it would have been water. That would have been quite cool to sort of think about her sort of like floating.
Yeah.
Peter Quint was kind of cool as well. Sort of they showed the ghost in the same way each time, which was good. I didn't want to see him like flying about, or I didn't want to see him keep appearing and making people jump. They kind of just appeared when they needed to, and that was good.
It's really good, yeah. Okay, so trivia. Are you ready?
Yes.
Number 1. The director, Jack Clayton, once upset everyone by hurling a chair through his office window. The office window was on the first floor, and the chair landed on some executive's parked Mercedes. He's a loose cannon, this Jack Clayton.
Oh, that sounds like something Jack Clayton would do, mate. Yeah.
Well, it's true. It's true. As someone else said it happened in their biography or something. But apparently, Jack Clayton was a bit of a wild card. He sounds like a detective who doesn't play by the rules to me.
I don't play by the rules. Well, that Mercedes should have been parked there.
Jack Clayton,
okay?
PI.
Jack Clayton.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, so number 2. Deborah Kerr, blimey, always regarded this as her finest performance.
True.
That's also true. Okay, Quint's unworldly appearance at the window was achieved by putting actor Peter Wingard in shoes smothered in fairy liquid and then shoved across the floor.
I'm trying to work out the science of that. I don't reckon fairy liquid was around in those days.
What? I'm going to be looking that up. So it was actually a trolley. He was like on this like trolley, and he was wheeled up to the window. He was gliding.
As the trolley.
Yeah. I'm just quickly
pounding. Actually, now you've said that about fairy liquid, I'm thinking
1950. So it would have been 10 years old. Old news by then.
Was it as popular?
Was it as slippy? That's the big question.
Probably not as slippy, I don't reckon. No.
We need to find out. Was it as slippy back then? Okay. I'm not going to Google that.
Next week's episode.
The film was based on the book, The Turban of the Shrew.
The what? The turban? Did you say the turban of the shrew?
I don't know. Did I? True or false?
False.
Okay. The film was actually based on the book, The Turn of the Screw. Which I still think should be called The Turning of the Screw. The Turn of the Screw sounds wrong. The Taming
of the Shrew. The Turban of the Screw. The Turban of the Shrew? These are just words now. They don't mean anything anymore.
Okay, the last question. You've got them all. You've done very well this week. I think maybe I've made them a little bit too easy. In an article in the USA
I'm just
Today,
good at this.
Yeah, you are good. Guillermo del Toro chose this as one of his 6 favorite flight flicks. Flight flicks. One of his favorite horror films, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, true. GDT.
Yeah, GDT. You can sort of tell, like, it's true, but Del Toro is like, he's all about his ghosts, creepy ghosts.
He's a connoisseur as well, isn't he?
Of children, creepy children. Think about Spina Bifida, Devil's Backbone, that classic. Yeah. And what was the other creepy children? Pan's Labyrinth?
Pan's Labyrinth, they're creepy children's and that, maybe.
Sort of.
Hellboy, before when Hellboy was a kid in the film, you saw him as a little thing. You're like,
his name is
like
literally Hellboy, like a creepy kid.
Big old fist.
Hellboy is it's a synonym for creepy child.
Creepy boy.
Okay, you got them all right. Way. If you were here, I'd give you a custard cream.
Oh, have you eaten them already?
We've got one left. Oh shit, it broke. Ignore that.
I'll have half of it. Can you just feed it to me on the screen?
Yeah, I'll upload it in a sec to Dropbox.
All right, thank you. That'll take ages. That's a couple of gig, guys.
Yeah.
Well, a 3D printer set up.
I'll send you half a gig. I'll send you it in 2 packets, in 2 files.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We need to rate the film. Do you know?
Do we?
We do. This is what we do. Does it live up to the highs, the soaring highs of the last film we watched, Let the Right One In, or even the sequel, I'm Stuck, Let Me Out? I don't know. What are you feeling about this one?
Yeah, I like it, but I don't think it didn't rock my world. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was creepy. I could appreciate it.
Slipping off the cliff.
I don't know if I ever want to watch it again. I'm not going to crack it out on a Saturday night.
It's flying through the air now. He's like off the cliff. It's going straight into the rocks.
Well, I'll probably give it a C.
Okay, that's. He's got one hand on. Yeah, no,
C?
you off the cliff, but you haven't died.
I'm kind of thinking about the plus. I'm just going to stick it. I'm going to stick it C.
If
Just
it's,
C.
if it's a C plus, like he'll walk again. If it's a
C.
C, okay.
C.
He's alive but mangled. Okay. I'm going to give it a C plus as well. What did you give? I'll give it a C plus. Just because I did enjoy it out of most of these older ones, pre-Cliff PC films. This is my favourite, I think.
It didn't make me cringe, which I think like a lot of the older films made me cringe a bit. This didn't make me cringe. There wasn't like a token comedy character in there.
Oh yeah.
Which was good.
Yeah.
There was an uncle who was an absolute legend of his time. Just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the performances were good, and as I said, creepy kids, like, I don't usually go for it unless it's like an absolute perfect like classic Poltergeist or The Omen. Don't really go for creepy kids, but this kind of like didn't annoy me as much as I thought it could have done.
Yeah. I don't know if I was gonna. Yeah, the kids are annoying. Like not kids in general, but I mean, when they're in horror films and stuff, when they're like screaming and crying and shouting, because it's always a little bit over the top, and it's more like the performance that annoys me. Because it's like, I don't think a kid would do that. And there was a bit in this when Flora was doing that, the screaming, fake and forced and stuff. But you got to give they are kids. They're doing their best. But I did think Miles was really good in this. I thought he was good.
Yeah, he was good. He was a solid little lad, even though he did like snogging.
Yeah, he did like the snogging. I wonder where he is now, on the public offenders list somewhere. Okay.
Public offenders list.
Is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called. Pervert.
He's 67 years old.
Whoa.
But he was only active in film from 1954 to 1966. So he only had 5 more years in it.
And then he grew a beard. And they were like, nah. Then his voice broke.
Yeah. Then his voice broke. I would like to find some. I got some pictures of him a little bit older. Interesting. He looks basically the same, but with grey hair.
Okay. I can imagine that.
Still pretty creepy. He was in The Village of the Damned as well.
Okay. John Carpenter.
No, because he was only active till 66, wasn't he? John Carpenter didn't.
Oh right, okay.
He was like one of the.
Getting it mixed up.
You're bloody getting it mixed up, lad.
Okay.
Village of the Damned. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll leave our Googling for after the show, I think. But so C plus and a C. I mean, that's pretty good. Next week we're talking about actually one of my favourite horror films in a long time. It Follows is up next. Have you seen it, Ben?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I have. It Follows. Greatest, one of the best soundtracks as well.
Yeah, it's very, very good. So then, this show is brought to you by the Story Studio Hawk and Cleaver. Head over to hawkandcleaver.com and grab a free book. Become a patron over at patreon.com/Hawk and Cleaver. Thanks to Kovac Kalman for our theme music. Thanks to Acast for hosting the show. Thanks to the listeners. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes, and remember to hit subscribe. Thank you to my co-host, Ben, for being a real horror dude. Thanks to my missus, Catherine, for bringing me sustenance and nourishment for the long 45 minutes that we recorded for. And thanks to the God, the weather was quite nice today.
The God.
Yep.
Thanks to the manufacturers of all good custard creams.
Yeah. Thanks to Fairy Liquid for supplying your trivia nonsense juice.
Yep.
And thanks Ben for pulling the lagoon face out. I think you really pulled that out of the bag today.
Fine. I mean, I'm not good at much, but pulling out a goon face just seems to come incredibly naturally to me.
Very natural. It's almost difficult to put it away, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. It is. I'd never know when to switch it off.
Yeah.
Doing a goon face again? No, I'm not. It's just my face.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna stop here. So thanks, guys. Bye.
Goodbye.